me to share the process with you. But because a lot of people, they share the triumph, but they don't share the trials of being in the process. And I just want to share the process with you because people act like the process does not exist. People act like the process is minute, and they want to share the glitz and glamour and not all the ugly stuff. So I am going to be the one. She is going to be the one to share the process, baby. So I want to kind of just give some experiences of the process because you're seeing pure wisdom in raw form. You're seeing the transformation in the teachings of John. You're seeing where pure wisdom is going. I am in the process. I just want you to know that I am in the process now as we speak. I have not gotten to my millions just yet. It's coming and it's around the corner. I know this. I feel this. I know this in my entire essence. But in the meantime, I am going through the process. And I'm going to share it with you because it's not pretty. I've learned how to deal through the process. I've learned how to put people where they belong in their special spaces and places in the process, but it does not omit me from going through the process. So I'm in the process and I want to share with you the process. This past weekend for myself and remember, what I want to share with you is the mirror effect. Remember, if you're watching my video, if you are watching my video, then it's meant for you to see this video. Not only is it meant for you to see this video, but it's a mirror effect of who you are. So pay attention, take heed, and receive it. It may not be identical to your journey and your story, but it's something similar or one and the same that you need in this message. So receive it as you need to, and whatever you don't, let it go. But anywho, back to the process of pure wisdom. I am Shakita. Shakita is a lively person. Shakita is a person that love people. Shakita is a person that loves to help people. Shakita is a person that is loyal. But on the other side of that, you have pure wisdom. Pure wisdom is the authentic essence of who I am, the good, the bad, the ugly of who I am. Because Shakita is a flawed person. I have imperfections, but pure wisdom is pure. Pure wisdom is authentic. So I want you to be able to understand. I don't differentiate between the two because it's all one entity. It's one person balled all up inside of this beautiful face of mine and body. But it's the process. So a process of really becoming and standing in pure wisdom's essence and receiving everything, Queen's essence. But anywho, let's talk about failure in the process. Failure is a part of the process. Many times you're going, and failure, it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, it's the end of the world. I am currently reading this book from Napoleon Hill that was written in 1937, Think and Grow Rich. And inside of that book, it speaks of failures. It speaks of individuals that is very close to their end result, but then they quit because it's not packaged the way that they want, or the failure is just too much for them to handle. Failure is a part of your success. I want to tell you that. Failure is a part of your success. So if it did not go exactly as you planned it to go, if it did not turn out the way that you thought that it should have turned out in your head, then that's a part of your teaching moment. That is not necessarily your failure. That is your room for correction. So correct yourself in all it is that you do. But most importantly, knowing failure is a part of success, it's okay. You will learn how to deal better. Now, in the process, I want to share with you pure wisdom's process. This past weekend, I was with family members, but I received a great lesson being in amongst family members this past holiday weekend. It was the Resurrection Sunday, Easter. Death couldn't even hold me down. Take that, receive it, hashtag it. They tried to hold Jesus down, but that wasn't working. Jesus was a mighty man, same as pure wisdom. I am a mighty woman. And death cannot hold me down. Family, friends will not hold me down. I will rise and resurrect and teach and preach and heal the gospel. Teach and preach and heal, our humanity and what it is that they need for their lives. Because remember, I'm just the mirror. I'm the mirror, and I refuse to stop, slow down, or become creature of my environment. So I want it better, and I have received many failures. Even in my Queen's Essence events, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a failure, but it didn't turn out. Some of them did not turn out the way that I wanted them to, especially my hometown. They were okay. They were successful in their own way, but it wasn't the success that I was seeking. So it was a failure, but it was a teaching moment. While I was in that process, I understood, and it takes me rewind to this past weekend. Past couple days, even in that process of going through the different teaching moments of Queen's Essence in my hometown, I went back to my hometown this past weekend, and I learned something. I was able to sit back, watch, observe. I interacted with family and everything, but I also stayed humble enough to observe. And in that observation, I know and understand, even in the book, Think and Grow Rich, is such a identical message. Your desire is so strong, and when your desire becomes stronger than what you came from, you have to burn those bridges. And it doesn't necessarily mean be bougie, be better than, think you have more, but you're creating space. And when you create that space of separating yourself from old, outdated things, you begin to make room for the new things and the new prosperity and abundance and success to come in your life. Yes, you receive success with your family and your friends, but there is a new level of success that is waiting for you on the other side of you letting go and burning those bridges, because your desire is so strong than your outdated programming and your outdated routine. So right back to me being home this past weekend, I interacted. I love family, but I saw something that again, I can't allow myself to be in that environment. I love them and I know how to interact with my family, but I learned that in order for you to take yourself to higher heights, there needs to be a separation. There needs to be a separation, and not in that separation of thinking that you're better. It's a separation of creating and making room for the new to come into your life. Yes, you were born into a certain particular family, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you stay in that family. You acknowledge that family, because love is love and family is family. We all have our traumas, but when you're getting to your desire and when you going to your destination of your life, now always be challenges. As long as we live on this earth, there will always be challenges, but only when you really accept that you can't intertwine yourself with the old, because it creates unbalance. You have to have a form of balance in some sense whenever you're creating for your future. So yes, it's good to be amongst those people, but you can't let it overshadow you. You can't have it in too much excess, because too much of something is not good for you, right? So just be mindful of that in the process. A lot of people, will frown their nose up at you, because a part of going through the process and getting to your end destination is burning those bridges. It doesn't mean that you burn them and you never return. You cut those ties, you cut those relationships until you get to where you're going. You're making room. You've made room. So I was able to humbly enough see what I needed to do to make room for where I'm going. I love my family, and the same for you. I'm sure you love your family too, but when you're creating and when you have that burning desire, remember, your family was the one programmed you. Your family, not saying it was right or not saying it was wrong, but your family was the one that said to you, hey, it should be this way or that should be that way, and it wasn't necessarily good for your life. So just be mindful of that, knowing that you make room. you separate so that you can elevate. Not that you're better than, but you're creating space. When you understand the laws of manifestation, when you understand you attract what you are, you make room for those things. Not only in your relationships, you clear out your home, you clear the clutter, whether that's old clothes that you don't wear, old shoes that you don't wear. Make room, because in order for you to get to that burning desire, you have to burn that bridge. So, of course, it is I, it is me, it is she, sharing with you in the process. Failure is a part of the process. Cleaning, clearing the clutter is part of the process. Elevation requires separation. So know that to be true. Know that it is real, and that's part of manifestation. Of course, Pure Wisdom is here if you want to move forward. I have many services. I have products. I have individual sessions as well. But don't hesitate to reach out. Remember, I love you, but most importantly, God loves you too.